So, having prayed, let's continue. So the topic is mathematics and symbolic logic. Mathematics and symbolic logic. Okay, so here they said that one important instrument for communication but not easily mentioned is the use of figures. In our last class, I explained this to us rather, and of course I told us that in our TMA it is always coming out. Okay, it is always there in our TMA. All right, so I explained it over and over. So please note it. When we say something is important but it's not easily being used or mentioned, it means that it's not giving the recognition that it deserves, and we are studying it so that we can know that yes, this is what this should be about. Okay. Now, figures are major instruments used for expression, especially when large data is involved, and it makes expressions very concise. It makes expression very concise in explanation and interpretation. So you can be able to explain, all right, and interpret things easily when you use figures. Now, when we say explanation, please, who can describe? When we say explanation to explain something, that means to tell more, to give more information about a concept. Okay, interpretation is different from explanation. Interpretation means to give something your own meaning. All right, I can come here and tell us that that Nigeria is a very, very good country. All right, Nigeria is a very, very good country. That's an information. All right. Now, to you, is Nigeria really a good country or not? That is your own interpretation. All right. So if I begin to give you reasons why Nigeria is indeed a good country, that becomes explanation. If you're actually understanding what I'm saying, please give me a love emoji. Okay, give me a love emoji. If you really get it, that was sunk in, because this topic is a topic that you need to take bit by bit, like bit by bit. It's a first topic in the course material, but it's somehow difficult to understand. So you need to be taking it little by little and explaining them one after. Okay. Yes. Thank you so much, Joel. Thank you so much, Tijani. Thank you so much, Doniel. You're all loved by the boss. Okay. So let's continue. Definition. What are we supposed to define here? We're supposed to define mathematics. We're supposed to define logic. You're supposed to define symbols. All right. Yes, you're supposed to define all these things. And there's no how you want to do it. Your TMA and examination questions, we always have all this. Okay. They will always ask you these questions, and omit certain words in the sentences. Okay. Now, mathematics is the science of numbers and shape. It can also be applied to our real life scenario. Okay. So it can also be applied into real life situations. So we say real life situation. Real life situation, what are we really talking about here? Okay, what I'm trying to say is that mathematics is not always abstract. Okay, 2 + 2 is 4. That is, in the abstract, that's looking at it as abstract. We now tell somebody, okay, 2 cups of rice and 2 cups of rice added together, what will it be? So in that case, you're now applying that knowledge to solving problems around you. Then we have examples of mathematics. Now they always ask this as a question, so note it. We have mathematical algebra. That is a topic arithmetic algebra is a topic in mathematics. All right. And they now explained that's mathematical algebra, okay, and said that it is use of symbols or letters. Please, aside from arithmetic algebra, there are other examples, there are other topics in mathematics. Can somebody give me 1 or 2? Can somebody give me 1 or 2? Nobody hope.
We have linear equation.
Linear equation. Which other one again?
We have logarithm.
Logarithm, very good. Which other one
Almighty.
again? Very, yeah. Thank you so much. We have matrix. Okay. Yeah, matrix is matrical. Matrix, not matric. Matrix as X. Okay. There is set theory, there is trigonometry, and so many on, as a lot of other topics. Okay. Now, from this arithmetic algebra, we can see symbols. And that symbol was being explained. They say symbol in this context is a letter that is used to represent a statement or an argument. Letters that are used to represent a statement or an argument is what you call symbols. Okay, so in the last class I shared my board just this way, and I told us, okay, fine, if you have something like 2x, excuse me, have something like 2x. Now this x here represents a value, because this actually means 2 times x. All right, so if x should be 1, for example, then you have 2 times 1, which is equals to 2. If x should be 2, then you have 2 times 2 equals to 4. So this x is the variable, all right? They call it variable in mathematics, and this 2 here is the constant. So it's variable because it can change, it can take any value. But this one is constant, it stays that way. All right. I think when we're talking about computer, somewhere in computer, we were talking about constant and variable, changing the constant to see their impact and stuff like that. Okay. So this is symbol. When you use a letter to represent a word, a preposition, and in logic, it might not really be expressed this way. Okay. So these symbols could be used to represent a statement, just as we can see in this example here. So we say that we have a statement here, she is tall and she is beautiful. We have a statement here, she is intelligent. And we use symbols. The symbols that we use here to represent them are P and Q. So anywhere you see she is tall and beautiful, okay, or anywhere you see P in this context, it means that they're saying she's tall and beautiful. Anywhere you see Q, so these are symbols representing these statements. Okay, so logical statements represented by symbols, right? Sometimes we apply this maybe when you are writing, or when you are, mostly in your write-up, you don't want to, or you don't have time to be writing so long, and just use these symbols to represent what you want to represent. Do we really get that? Is that pretty clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay.
Clear, sir, it's clear.
I see some people are just joining. You're welcome. So we move on. Now,
Sir, please, can you come again, please, sir?
Okay. Who is speaking? Who is that? Where should I come again, please? Miss Isioma. Where were you lost? Excuse me, Miss Isioma. Were you not the one that asked me to come in?
Symbols, the use of symbols. The use of symbols.
Okay, ma'am. So when we talk about symbols means in this context, because we have other contexts in which we use symbols. Let me give us some other examples so that you can understand this one better. Okay. So we have a situation like this. So we have situations whereby you are moving on the road, okay, and then you see a sign, danger, okay. See, an image, with maybe with the human skull and stuff like that, saying, reading danger. So telling you that maybe you shouldn't encroach into such territory. That's a symbol, right? That's a symbol. So definitely, symbols will have to represent something, all right? Use of images to represent something, to code some kind of information or instructions, all right? Yes. So that is generally what symbols means. But in this case, the image that we are using, all right, the picture that you are using here is a letter. It's a what? Letter. So who can tell me the letters we have in English alphabet or English language? The letters are? What are the letters?
X, X, X.
Yeah, X is the letter. Which other letter do we have? We have Y,
We
A.
have Q. Q.
Yeah, Q is a letter. A is a letter. P is a letter. Okay. So
E.
all these, A, B, C to Z are all letters. So they say that when you use a letter to represent a statement or argument, you are using a symbol. Okay. So statement or argument, we'll get to see statement and argument later, like talk about them on a larger scale much later. All right. So that is what they are trying to tell us here. They are using letters of the alphabet to represent. So that letter is not just there last song, last if we just ordinary ABC. It is representing something. The way that now maybe your dad or your mom tells you to go to an occasion that they will have gone to. When you get there, you balance. Normally you go there on your, or maybe nobody will recognize you. You just be somewhere in the background. But perhaps that is very, very influential, or I remember very well when one of my uncle asked me to attend a wedding on his behalf. When I got to that wedding, I not carry second. Like it was first position I took that because normally I know my uncle is one influential kind of a person that if he was there, he would be on the high table. In fact, they even called him on the high table that day. You need to see me how I came out, with my swag and dignity and glorification. To the front seat in the high table, I was sitting with timbers and calibers, and I will not carry second. I was just changing numbers with them. I was gisting with them because I know that I'm not just self. Okay, I know that somebody sent me, so I am there in the name of that person. Just imagine you now going for an occasion, and they invited the president, and the president said that okay, I cannot really go. And I send you. They do it a lot. And then you now go there and now start behaving anyhow. No, now you carry yourself. That is as they're seeing you, they're seeing the president. Because there's anything you are coming there to give. Like that day now, I gave them money. The money was not my money that I gave them. I gave them the money that my uncle gave me to deliver. So if there's any message, there's any instruction, there's anything you're coming here there to deliver, you are giving it on behalf of the person that sent you. So if that person is somebody big, you also look big. So that letter you are seeing there is not letter last song, like one ABCD. No, it's not for children. It is something big, something huge. It is just like, okay, let me just represent it in a simple way. That's why you're using it as a symbol. That is why I gave you that example I gave you earlier. You can see there, you can see 2x. I used X, okay, as an example. I said 2x. I can use other examples. I can say, okay, 3y. All right. So if y should be 5, ordinarily it means that what 3y is equals to 3 times 5. Okay. which is equals to 15. All right. So if y should be 10, it should be 3 times 5. So this y now is what is a symbol because it is representing something. In this case, we're representing 5. In other cases, it could be representing 10. Another case could be representing 20. Okay, that's just it. If you come to this place, give us an example. They say that this P representing she is tall. In another example, in another situation, P could represent the boss is the best teacher in the world. Okay. In another example, it could represent Open University of Nigeria is a wonderful school. In another example, it could represent I am so hungry. In another example, it could be oh she looks so tired. You know, it could be anything. All right, it's not by force. Because of it is P represents she is tall. Everywhere you see P, no, it varies. All right. The main thing you need to know about symbol is that it is where you use letters to represent a statement or an argument. So, Miss Isioma, how about now? Are you cleared? Are you still lost? Are you still lost, ma? I think we have lost her, so let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, let's continue. Now, we have a situation in our hands. So we are going to look at this better when we get to connective. So you can see here, say P and Q. So you're adding it together. All right. So how do you now express it looking at this? So it will be what P and Q regarded as what she is tall, she's beautiful. You know, she's tall and beautiful is a statement. So in this case now, you cannot say she is tall and beautiful and intelligent because they're using and to join it. So this and will be here. You just remove the and from here, you separate it by comma. All right. Normal English. I went to market to buy oranges, mangoes, pineapple, pawpaw, cucumber, and coconut. So the and will come before the last item. So that's just what happened here. So tall, beautiful, and intelligent. Is that clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Yes, sir.
All right. So the last thing to define here is logic. I would say logic.
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 Logic. Very good.
Logic.
Miss Salami, why are you laughing at the boss? Why are you laughing at the boss?
No, sir. No, sir.
Hey, you are laughing at the boss of what not places. Are you lost? I can see your face. You are laughing at the boss. Better repent because let me not say something. All right. Anyway, that's just by the way. So, hence, logic is the science of what? Reasoning or explaining event. Please, I talked about explanation before. Explanation with interpretation during introduction. So reason means to think. All right, let's assume that okay, fine. So you want to go to school, you want to further your education, and you told somebody about it. The person said, who school help? My sister, beg, forget that thing. Forget that thing. I mean, you find way, may you settle down. Nine sure pass. Who school help? People wey don't go school, wait himself. Nobody then go still come, they do yes, my yes, sir. Person will just try to talk you down, and then okay, fine and good. You need to, the person could be making some kind of sense, but you need to like think about it very. You need to be able to think and be like, okay, is this what is best for me? Right? I've been in a situation whereby people will, excuse me, Miss Benis, can you mute yourself? I've been in a situation whereby people will want to advise me, the boss, do this way, the boss, do that way. I mean, no disrespect to them. Mr. Tinajani, can you mute yourself? They are actually making sense. they're actually making lot of sense, but I still need to like be able to, ascertain whether what they are saying is actually the best for me. That is reasoning. So when you are able to reason, you can be able to think well. You can be able to, define what is best for every situation. All right. It is logic that makes it possible. Because if you look around, most of the courses you guys have been doing, have been talking about being objective and many things like that. So logic will help you. All right. They tell you that, okay, this person is doing this. This thing is happening here. It's happening there. Fine and good. You should be able to sit down and now know, okay, after everything is said and done, what is actually the best for me. All right. And then you should also be able to explain events. So apart from thinking and making decision, when it comes to painting a picture of what happened, okay, to people, logic helps you to do that and do it very, very well. I'll be able to tell people that, okay, I was in the class today, look at what happened. For example, now most times I get situation whereby students can have some kind of issues with themselves, and somebody is like trying to, maybe because that person has a friend, sometimes it can happen. The friend of that person is involved. You now want to start, saying things the way they are not, just because you want to favor your friend. And someone else that is logical will come out. The person does not even care whether you are a friend or not. You just say that, this is what happened. No, in this case, I think you are the wrong person. That kind of situation. So and then maybe somebody is trying to like settle you guys, and the person comes into the scene and is like, what is going on? The boss, look at what happened. Look at what happened. You can be able to say the thing the way it is. Why? Because they're being logical. So it helps you to reason and explain. And you can only do this scientifically. That's what they say is the science. Okay, there are many ways that you can be able to reason and explain things. Sometimes we can explain things and reason from the perspective of the scriptures. Most of us that are Christians tell you that, the reason why I'm doing this, why don't you want to marry that man? Well, my pastor said that I should not marry him. Why don't you want to marry him? My spirit don't really agree with him. The way he's behaving, I don't really like it. Okay. Why don't you want to marry her? I come from my place. It does not usually marrying people. There are people that marry from there in my own family. They are not really enjoying their marriage. Like in my own family now, there's some kind of like I have an uncle that married from somewhere. I don't want to mention the place because people from there are in this class. And the marriage is not really sweet like that. So all of us that are growing up, are telling us, so don't marry this person, no. Don't marry a lady from this place. Don't marry a lady from that place. Let's say tomorrow now, somebody now falls in love, and the person is from that aspect, from that area, and then later now say, I'm not married. Why? My family, that one is not scientific. It is based on other things. So it is not, you can reason, your basis for reasoning and explanation of events might come from other places aside from science. But once it's coming from science, then it is what? Everybody?
Logic.
See better person. See person picking. 90 my class. I say, everybody just get quiet. Only one person out of a class of multitude. Only one person. What's going on? What's going on? We not following. I say that if you actually reason and explain events through other means, okay, it is not, it is not logic. But once it is, then it is logic. Everybody just get quiet. Let me just believe that you do not hear me well. That is why you are unable to respond. Continue with the class. Yeah, thank you. I can see us in the comment section replying. It is logic. So I think that one is set. Anywhere you see logic, or anywhere they ask you to explain logic, you give it to them because the boss has calmed down and explain it towards the way we can understand. Now, when it comes to logic, there are something you need to understand, and it has to do with what? Analysis. Okay? It has to do with what? Analysis. Analysis of what? The true value of every preposition. So, once, as I said, once anything is being presented, all right, you need to be able to make good decision, rational decision. And this decision is always being influenced by what? The true value of that preposition. So if somebody is telling you something that is blatantly a lie, Irọ́ tó short. Most of you know this one is a lie. It's a blue lie. It's a white lie. It's a yellow lie. You will not accept it. You cannot accept it. You will be like, I am smarter than this. But if the thing is actually true, then you know that, okay, fine. Even if anything goes wrong, it is not because of this person deceived me. I'll give you an example. You come to the class and I'm teaching you. As far as what I'm teaching you, you know that is the correct thing. I'm teaching you right. Okay? Whether you pass the course or you not pass the course is now dependent on other factors. Perhaps maybe how fast you can assimilate, how distracted you were during the class. Many other things will really come into play to be able to determine whether you're going to pass or not. Okay, so you want to really make a decision whether to join my class, subscribe for my classes. The first thing you want to know is he actually teaching well? What is teaching? What is always saying? Is it how it is? So once you can know that, okay, definitely you should be moving, in. Except if there are other reasons, for example, maybe money or other reasons could come in and now be taking you to other places. So that is what logic helps us to do, because you need to know the truth in everything. The truth is actually very, very instrumental. Once the truth is there, okay, every other thing is believed to be able to fall in place. Now, in logic, the true value of a proposition is term T. And when we don't have the truth, when we have false, you term it F. And then there's an example for us to look at and digest. Okay?
Okay.
Yes, who is that? So we have an example here. They said, given that 2 plus 3 is equals to 4, what will be the true value of the statement? 2 plus 3, when you work it out, you're going to have 5. So 2 plus 3 is obviously not 4 then. So
It's false.
that is mistake. Please, these people are spoiling our class for us now. People are going to use the replay. If you're in a noisy environment, don't unmute yourself. Only unmute yourself when you know you're in a quiet place. Please only unmute yourself when you're in a quiet place, so that when we post the recording, to make sense. All these interruptions, you make people be very tired of the video when they are watching it. So please, I beg us, mute yourself if you're in a noisy environment. Now we have other examples. Now Lagos is a cosmopolitan state. Now when we say cosmopolitan, who can tell me what it means? I told us in the last class, so I expect everybody to be able to answer it. Cosmopolitan state, what does that mean? So cosmopolitan state is that kind of a state where you have people virtually, yes, all tribes, okay? So many tribes from all over the world, okay? That is a state that is cosmopolitan. So thank you so much, Mr. Yeah, you are correct. So you can see that here in Lagos, we have people from all over the, all places, okay? So it's actually not out of place to say Lagos is a cosmopolitan state. All right. Now find the true value of PQ meaning P and Q. Right, so we want to find the true value of P and Q. Now, mind you, P and Q could be any statement. Okay, it could be any statement at all. So P could mean I am in the class. All right. Q could mean I am eating. So now P and Q, we then together to mean I am in the class and I am eating. Now, if you are in the class for real, it makes P true. Okay, because yes, you are truly, honestly speaking in the class. But let's assume that you are not to be in the class. Definitely, this will be false. Okay. Now, if you are to be eating like legitimately, as at that time, then this will be true. And in a case where both of them are true, this becomes true. Because this is very, very simple. If someone comes to your house and you tell that person that you can afford to offer them bread and tea. Now, if indeed you have bread and tea in your house, that is when you can be able to offer it to them. If you have bread and tea, like the two options are available. So you possibly can just go in and make the provision. All right. If you want to eat rice and beans and rice is available, beans is available, then it's all good. It's all beautiful. You can be able to, you can afford to get both of them because of what? Because they are there. The two options are there. But if one is not available, you can't get both again because and means that two of them are available. So if you have only rice, then saying that you are going to give the person rice and beans becomes a lie. That is why in this second option, you can see that once one of them is false, the final preposition becomes a false. All right. But let's assume that this one was or. All right. We have P or Q. If I tell you I want to give you tea or coffee. So let's assume I have coffee, like coffee is in my house, but there's no tea. If I tell you tea or coffee, it's still correct because at the end, saying tea or coffee doesn't mean that you need to take both of them. If it is only one you can find, then you should be okay. That is what that is saying, okay? But when you say and means both of them. So if one of them is false, everything becomes false. But if you say or, except if both of them are false. If I say tea or coffee and I don't have coffee, I don't have tea, there's no way I can offer any of them. So I have been lying. All right. So that is just what you need to know. We'll talk more of it when we get down to that part where they talk about connectives. Okay. Connectives. Ooh la 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 la. So I think what I've explained is what they just talked about here. So let's take. I hope we are jotting something. I hope you are noting something. So these ones I've explained so far. Tomorrow. Let me see. Tomorrow. Miss. Yeah. Okay. I think, yeah, tomorrow, these ones I have been explaining so far. Miss Abosede, hope you're live. You will do the summary and review for us, okay, on our platform. Then, before the end of the class, I will mention the second person that will also do something. And after tonight's GST 107 class as well, I will call out some people to also, help in our follow-up exercises. And please keep reminding your colleagues that they should subscribe for our classes and be inviting them to class as well. Okay? It's because they know how they want to do it. They really need these meetings. The facilitation of the school is only for a few weeks, and even after the weeks, all the course material will definitely not be covered, and all the courses will not be covered. So it's good that we start getting serious here, so that by the time other students will be joining us, you'll be meeting us established, they will just fit in. But when we are not organized and we don't know what we are doing, other students will come in and you will just be lost because everywhere is just in shambles. But I've never had that experience whereby the students I work with are not really organized, because I'm always ready for them, okay, before they come around. Now, we are going down to objective or symbolic logic reasoning. Okay. Now, 1, logical reasonings could be used to ascertain or analyze complicated business arguments. Logical reasonings could be used to ascertain or analyze complicated business arguments. That is 1. I think I have to invite somebody now to talk, explain to us what he or she understands by this statement. Let me come to you, Miss Faith. Miss Faith, good evening. How are you doing? Faithful, good evening. Can you hear me? Yeah, Faithful, good evening. You're live.
Yeah.
Good evening, ma'am. Welcome. Where are you joining us from? What part of the country are you? Hello? Okay, let me move on because of my time. Let me call on Joel Oluwasegun. Good evening, you're live. Can we know what you think? How can you explain this first objective? How can you best explain it? Yeah. Can we still hear me? I'm talking to Mr. Joel Oluwasegun. Are you there, sir?
Hello, sir. I'm here, but I'm at work right now. I'm just listening. I'm very busy. I put AirPod on my ear. I'm just listening. Maybe my.
All right, so when we say logical reasonings could be used to ascertain or analyze complicated business arguments, right? So these arguments with reasoning, since you have seen that reasoning actually helps us to logic rather helps us to reason and helps us to explain events with the knowledge of logical reasoning, you should be able to, analyze. Analyze has to do with what breaking down, like break it into pieces. Business arguments that are very, very difficult to understand. That's why they call it complicated. You can be able to break it down in a way that you can be able to understand yourself and then validate it or, debunk it. Because when you can reason logically, it makes it easier for you to understand things from a different perspective. Okay, you see things from an angle that nobody else is seeing. And of course, those things that looks difficult, those things that looks challenging, those things that looks complicated, all right, you'll be able to, go through it with ease. That is what we mean by this. Now, number 2, it could be used to decode equivalent negation or contradiction or contradictory preposition. So we have negation, could be used to decode equivalent, negation, or contradictory preposition. So, when we say negation, we get to see that as we progress as well. Negation has to do with, the direct opposite of everything. I am coming, I am not coming, it's negation. All right. She's beautiful, she's not beautiful, right? That is just it. And then we have the equivalent. Equivalent, obviously, that is an equal. All right. And of course, we talk about contradiction in logic. There's a place you will get to. We talk about contradiction and tautology. All right. So this one is just like giving us a preamble of what is yet to come. All right. So when we have contradictory tautology, okay. So this is a kind of prepositional logic that is forced in all situations. Okay, that is, it is forced for all possible value of its variable. That is to say that in every situation it is always forced. If you say what kind of example? I'm going to give us a random example. Okay. I'm just trying to look for an example that will work, like something that is always false, no matter how you look at it. Okay. All right. Now, when
Saying someone is red in color.
huh? What do you say? What do you say, ma?
Saying someone is red in color.
Okay, saying people yeah, that is that looks more like it, but there's something I'm looking for. Like, something that you look at it, it will not really be, it's not like something that is easy for you to just write off. All right, it's something that will make you think a bit before you conclude that it is actually false. I'm going to, maybe I have to scroll down a bit to. I think I've gotten the example I'm looking for. Now, something cannot, like now, you cannot be a man and a woman at the same time. Okay? That is what a contradiction. Like to say that, okay, fine, I'm a man, I'm a woman at the same time. It could be possible for one person to be a man today and be a woman tomorrow, be a woman today, be a man tomorrow, those kind of thing. Transgender and other things has now made it, it made our world a very confusing one. But it is not possible for you to be, because there are two different realities. You are either one or the other. Okay? You cannot be, there cannot be light and darkness at the same damn time. It's either you're having light or you're having darkness. So if you are now making a preposition, you're making a statement where you are claiming to have something like these two different things at the same time, all right? So you know that that is what not true, because it can never happen, all right? There are many things that can coexist together, but this ones cannot. So that is contradictory proposition. But we're not actually trying to explain this. What we need to know is that logical reasoning can help us to decode. That means it can help us to note. It can help us to understand all these. When we see equivalent, to be able to tell this is equivalent. When we see negation, we know this is negation. When we see contradiction, we also know this is contradiction. Somebody is talking. Yeah, who could that be? Somebody is talking. Who could that be? Hello? Now, it could be used to analyze a statement. Right here, they talk about analyzing business argument. You can also use it to analyze just general statement. It could be used to form composite statements from simple ones using logical connective. We're going to do that one later. We have two simple statements like I am a boy, Ada is a girl. Just simple statement, and then you brought them together using connective. Connectives could be and or if, that is conditionals. Many types of connective. We use it to combine two sentences, and when you do that, you now have a new type of sentence which you call composite statements. Now, it could be used to ascertain the true value of a statement. That one is what you just saw now. You can be able to tell if something is actually true or false by the help of logical reasoning. Now, let's look at the basic terms, okay? Definition of basic logical terms, right? Now, first, a statement or preposition in the context of logic is a declarative sentence. A declarative sentence or an expression of words which are either true or false, but cannot be assumed both. So it's like now saying that something is both true and false is also contradiction. Okay, it can only be one. Okay, that is statement for you. All right. Yes, just in case he asks you. And when we say declarative sentence, who can tell me what does it actually mean for something to be a declarative sentence? So that when we see the it's able to say declarative. Mr. Jacob, you are live. You can tell us, what do you understand by declarative sentence? Okay, Mr. Tijani, you are live. Can you tell us, what do you understand by declarative sentence? Okay. So declarative sentences are just simple sentences that we use to give information. Okay. Yes, this gives information. It's not asking you a question. No. So you will not really see premises or statements in question form. They are always sharing with you information, things that you really got to know and understand better. Now, types of yes, I like cheese. That is a simple statement. So we have two types of statement. We have the simple and the composite. The composite is known as compound. So you can see simple. You can see examples of simple statements. So who can give me additional simple statements? I need additional examples aside from the one in the course material.
I live in Lagos. It's an example of simple sentence. Simple statement.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Another person.
Bola is the boss. Then two statements.
Very good. Another person. My car is black. Yeah. Yeah, I am the son of my father. Okay, yeah, that is true.
The boss is the teacher.
Yes, thank you so much. That is another one. Yes, another one more.
Hello, sir. I want to ask a question.
Okay, you are live.
Okay. For this example of statement here, when they wrote 2 plus 4, 2 plus 5 is equals to 4, and Accra is in Nigerian, how that is going to be a simple statement when it is not true?
Now, thank you so much for that question. If you go back to the definition of statements, it told us that it can either be true or false. So your statement does not always have to be true. It can be true, it can be false. All right. So there's no crime against you saying something that is false. It's part of logic. Is that clear?
Yes, it's clear. It's clear.
Very good. So if you look at the above statements, you can tell the ones that are true among them and the ones that are false. Now, a composite sentence on the other one is the one that has been combined, okay, where you have two sentences combined by the help of connectives so that it can become one. So you can see examples here. So can you make your own example for me? Make your own examples of composite sentences.
Mr. Niyi is a businessman. He lives in Lagos.
Where is the connective?
Mr. Niyi is in Lagos and he is a businessman. The connective is and.
Okay, thank you. Another person. Another person. I am the son of. I don't understand. Okay. Your sentence is not clear, Mr. Kensley. Can you coin it better?
I am a management student and I'm currently studying mathematics 105.
Okay, that's a good one. Thank you. Yeah, other examples?
Another example, the one I have, it is raining and it is cold.
Okay, it's raining and cold. Right. Also now to present it better, it is raining and cold. Not it is raining and it is cold.
Okay.
One more. Why are we all using and? There are other connectives you can use aside from and.
Okay, let me say my father is a teacher, but is currently an accountant.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. So
You can you can
yes,
either be in, you can either do business in Lagos or in Port Harcourt.
yeah, thank you so much. So you can use that. You can use all. Yeah, thank you so much. All right. So there are so many examples out there just for us to draw out because it's there. We know it. It's just for us to sit back and try to draw from the wealth of our knowledge. All right. So in this subtopic, we get to be looking at all that, and this is what we're going to be stopping for tonight. So in our next class, we'll continue from the different laws of algebraic preposition. Okay, now there are expressions. These are expressions. Okay, it could be phrases, it could be symbols that are made use of to join or combine two or more simple statements together in a composite statement. Okay, now let's get down to this next. Okay, the examples. So we have them here, and you can see they are symbols, right? So we have something is amiss here. The first one is conjunction, please. So in your notes, you can add it. Conjunction. Okay, which is and.
Sir, this number 3 is not showing clearly.
I'll be explaining. And this is a symbol for and, this symbol. Then we have disjunction or, and this is a symbol as like reverse of and. This one is negation. Negation.
So the symbol is different with our course material here.
This is the correct. This is the correct one. That one is error. There are plenty error in your course material. That's why you need people to put you through. That's why you need people to put you through, because you just go to the examination, you just see. This one is the correct one, or that one is error. When I did my own MTH105, then it was even SMS105. So these were the symbols there. When I saw this one you guys are using, I saw the mistakes there. And the facilitator said I even teaches you guys that the man is my friend. And he himself had to correct it for the students. So you have to correct it. That's what I'm showing you. So start using your Biro to do the necessary adjustments. And that's why you need to be coming to the class. Some of us don't know the rule of this class. You see, when I start logging us out, you know the rule. I said, when you're in a noisy environment, mute your mic. Mute your mic, and if you are not in a noisy environment, you can talk. Now, what I was saying then, people will not even hear because of the whole noise. So please, this is the right symbol. This one is something like this. Please hold on, because we have different variants. Something like this. Something similar to that. But what you have in your course material, if I'm not mistaken, will look like this. Right? I think your course material has something like this. Oh God. My drawing is so poor. I see something wavy. I think this is more like it. Anyway, there are ways. So these two can actually pass. Something like this or like this is symbol. Then for conditionals, which implies that is a symbol, right? You can see the symbol over there. And then the last one, by implication. So this one is symbol, two arrows facing opposite. So now, having taken down the symbol, let's start explaining them. All right. So before we get to that, talk about tautology and contradiction. I was talking about this earlier. When I said the negation of contradiction is tautology, why the negation of tautology is contradiction? Okay, fine. But before we talk about it, remember that I told us something about contradiction. I want to explain it again. Okay. So when we say tautology, we use this a lot when we have compound statements. And it's important that you understand it because I'm talking about connectives now. I know once you have connectives, most of us, if I unmute us, you don't do anything other than disturb my class and make noise. So I don't know. Like most of you have any reputation of making noise in my classes. So I will not be unmuting you guys in my class again because anytime I unmute you just to make noise. Now, we're talking about this tautology and condition here because we have moved to composite statements because anytime you see connectives, you know the next thing is coming is compound statement because there's no way you can use connectives and two simple sentences will not come together. And when two simple sentences come together, you now have a compound statement. So when you have compound statements, you are bound to end up having any of these. It's not in every case you have tautology or contradiction. There are some compound statements that are true or false depending on the situation that we find ourselves. There are some cases whereby it will be true, some cases it will be false. All right. But when we have, a compound sentence that is always true, okay, we call it tautology. What did I say?
Always true. We call it tautology.
Yes. So when you have a compound statement that is always true, we call it tautology. When it's always false, you call it contradiction.
That means tautology and contradiction means true and false.
Yes, for compound statements, always. This tautology means always true. A compound statement that is always true. Contradiction means a compound statement that is always false. Okay. So we have quite a lot of examples. I'll give us exercises to determine, tell me which one is tautology and which one is contradiction. Okay. Now, argument. Argument is said to be formed when the conjunction of a set of simple mathematical statements give rise to another mathematical statement called conclusion. So, when you have simple statements, okay, simple mathematical statements, being joined, conjunction, being joined together, and that joining together leads to the forming of another statement, which is known as a conclusion. We know that an argument has been formed. So in an argument, we have what we call premises and the conclusion. The premise is the statement that leads to another statement, which we often have as conclusion, and it may be valid or invalid. Now, there's a question I asked us earlier, what type of argument do we have? Did anybody attempt to answer it here? Was there anybody here that attempted that question?
Come again.
Two types of arguments that we have.
Valid or invalid?
All right. Another person. So we have what they call deductive arguments. Yes, you're live.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
We have deductive and inductive.
Yeah, deductive and inductive. So, now, my your noise is too much. Now, for example of that deductive argument, we can say, what I want us to know is that this argument, this valid and invalid. Can we hear me?
Yes, sir, we can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can hear you. Can
Yes.
hear you.
Now, this valid argument and invalid argument we have here, we can only use it when we are talking about the deductive argument. This is only deductive argument that can be valid or invalid. So a deductive argument establishes a conclusion to be true by stating two or more true premises that leads to conclusion being true. Okay. Now, if you comment, they said if the conclusion derives its support from excuse me, please hold on a bit. Needed to. Okay, I'm back. They said that if conclusion derives its support from, yes. If conclusion derives its support from its premises, so this is they repeated it twice. So derives its support, okay, from its premises. The argument is said to be valid, otherwise invalid. So I will explain that deductive argument very well to us. Now, in deductive argument, a conclusion, all right, is being established by stating two or more, true premises. Okay, and these premises will always lead to a true conclusion. Now, if that is not the case, definitely we have an invalid argument. Okay, so we can see an example that they gave us here. So in this case, we have Lagos is in Nigeria. That is one of the premise. Nigeria is in West Africa premise. Then this one is the conclusion. It means that, so the conclusion being arrived from this is that Lagos is in West Africa. So in this case, if A and B are true, then C must be true. So in this case, now if Lagos is in Africa, Nigeria is true, and then Nigeria is in West Africa is also true, then definitely this one where we have concluded that because deduction means that we have actually gotten it from this. Okay, this led us to this. It means that what Lagos itself is in West Africa will be true. So we have example here. Another example, I'm going to give us all dogs have 4 legs. John's pet is a dog. Therefore, John's pet has 4 legs. So in this case, you can see that it is what valid. Another example, all dogs are animals. Rover is a dog. Therefore, Rover is an animal. Then we have an example of an invalid argument. If I say here, John owns a dog. Rover lives at John's house. Therefore, Rover is a dog. Is this actually valid? Certainly not. Because yes, even though John owns a dog and Rover, we don't know who Rover is, lives in his house. There are many other things that could be in John's house, all right, that will obviously not be a dog. Because he owns a dog doesn't mean that everything in his house is a dog. So it might not be accurate for you to say that Rover itself is a dog. So that is that for that. So inductive, when we say deductive argument, the conclusion is always true. Okay. Yeah, it's always true. If it is not true, it becomes invalid. It must be true. All right. But when we have inductive argument, conclusion is only probable. All right. Yes, it is probable. It does not have to be true. Okay, so let me give you an example of inductive arguments. We have here, most dogs have 4. Rover is a dog, therefore Rover has 4. So you can see here, the premises that led to this conclusion, that is the first one, most dogs have 4. That is that their skin, the kind of hairs on their skin, all right? The second one is Rover is a dog. And then because of the fact that most, they not say all dogs, they say most, not all. So if you look at it, it is said that if the inductive argument is strong and the premises are true, then it is said to be cognizant. This is like a deductive argument being valid and sound. The exact distinction between deductive and inductive argument is not fully accepted by all philosophers. Some may use a slightly different definition. Others believe that there is no clear distinction between the two, and that instead all arguments have different qualities that makes their type of categorization difficult or meaningless. So there you have it. The main thing about inductive argument that separates it from deductive is that act of probability. Deduction does not give room for probability. It must be true, okay? Otherwise, it is invalid. So a valid deductive argument is one whose logical structure or form is such that if the premises are true, the conclusion must be true, okay? A sound argument is a valid argument with true premises. So once you have the premises, which is in this case P and Q, once they are true, conclusion must be true. That is what deductive arguments for you. All right. So do you have any question on that?
So what does the R stands for?
That's the conclusion. That's a symbol. That's conclusion.
Conclusion.
Okay, I'm going to give you guys two premises. I'm going to give you guys two premises in the comment section, and I expect someone to give me the best conclusion for that argument. Are we ready? Are we?
Yes, we are ready. We are ready.
Okay, so I have one for us here. All dogs have ears. All right. That's the first premise. Let me call it P. Okay, it's going to be in the comment section, so reply to it. And the second one is that I'll call it Q now. Golden retrievers are dogs. That's the second one. So R, which is the conclusion? Somebody should give me that. So what will be R?
Come again, please. Come again, please.
Check the comment section is there. All dogs have ears. Golden retrievers are dogs. Therefore, what will now? So give me the conclusion. The question has been typed. While we're on that, I also have another one. All racing cars must go over 80 meters per hour. The Dodge Charger is a racing car. So I need a conclusion for that. Okay. Man, I'm enjoying this. Let's keep it coming. Some of us are already making me laugh already. So let me call this one A. All racing cars must go over 80 meters. I say that's what they call it reasoning. You will think like your brain, because these things you think is simple. Some people will tell them logic, very, very simple thing. Then you sit down and look at it, you know it's not simple. It can confuse you. So another one is there. All racing cars must go over 80 meters per hour. The Dodge Charger is a racing car. Therefore, so I'm seeing some of our comments. Mr. Tijani says that all dogs are golden. The question is, all dogs have ears. Golden retrievers are dog. He's saying that therefore all dogs are golden retrievers. Okay. Miss Adio Isioma said all dogs have ears. Golden retrievers are dog. Therefore, golden retrievers have ears. Jason, Jason, how do they pronounce this your name, Mr. Jason? So he's saying that it means that all dogs are golden retrievers. Mrs. Adebuimi Salami said that therefore they have ears. Calvin Marshall says therefore all dogs have golden retrievers. All dogs have golden retrievers have ears. Hello. Yes, well. The next one is also, there's another one there. The other question have been posted as well. Let's react for like 5 minutes. Let's see. So Mr. Tiani said that all racing cars must go over 80 meters per hour. The Dodge Charger is a racing car. Therefore, all racing cars have Dodge Charger. Okay, noted. Noted. Check the comment section is there. Yes. Okay. In the next 2 minutes, we'll take a correction, and that will be the end of the class. If you have question, you can also drop in the comment section. My eyes is on it. Okay. Jason is saying that all racing cars must go per hour. The Dodge Charger is a racing car. That means all racing car must have a Dodge Charger. Okay. All racing cars must have a Dodge Charger. All racing, you're all copying yourself. All of you are copying yourself. That's not fair. Examination malpractice. Examination malpractice. What brings around the course material? It could be typography, typographical error. Maybe the ones that I know most of these symbols are not easy to locate on the keyboard. Some of them you need to use additional in-depth knowledge of to access them. Perhaps it could be the reason. All right, so let me give us the answers. Okay, let's keep commenting anyway. We have been doing well. So for the first one, all dogs have ears. Golden retrievers are dogs. Okay, therefore, so all dogs have ears. Golden retrievers are dogs. Therefore, they have ears. That means golden retrievers have ears. Since they are dogs, they will definitely have ears. Since all dogs has ears, that should be the conclusion. So if you got it, start celebrating yourself in the comment section. Now, all racing cars must go over 80 meters per hour. Now, the Dodge Charger is a racing car. Since all racing car must go above 80 meters per hour. Can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, I'm
Hello.
hearing you.
So
Yeah,
since
I'm hearing you.
yeah, thank you. So since all racing over 80 meters per hour, it means that the Dodge Charger, which is a racing car, must go over 80 meters per hour. If it doesn't go over 80 meters per hour, then it is actually not. So that is just it. Okay. A very good example of a valid deductive. All right. Hope I've done my job for today. Hope class. Hope you had fun. Hope you learned something. If you actually learned something, give me a love emoji. Give me a love emoji. If you still have issues, give me an excuse me in the comment section. Let me know where to excuse you. I'm already getting so much love already. So you can see the first one. All dogs have have ears. Golden retrievers are dog, therefore they have ears. Okay. So the next one, all racing cars go over 80 meters per hour. The Dodge Charger is a racing car, therefore it can go over meters. Okay, that's the answers. Okay. So thank you. It has been so wonderful doing this with us. Probably maybe if we don't meet over the weekend, then we'll meet next week. We need to be very, very busy because most of these things, if you don't if you keep going at it, consistently, you might forget completely. So we need to keep ourselves busy until the next time we come around. So everybody that's actually participated in the class, God bless you all. And for those of us that joined us much later, yeah, God bless us. So I'm going to, send. I don't know. Let me see where we're going to use. I think I prefer working on this platform for serious businesses than WhatsApp because of this platform. WhatsApp. If you lose any message now, look at me. All my messages, I can't find them again. If anything happens to your WhatsApp, if you start looking for your chat. That's why I feel like okay, this one you can always even access messages that we are not in the group when you are whether we're in the group when you are not even added. So I think I will have to send the mathematics link. That is the mathematics for managers, the one we are doing. I'll send the link. I'll send to Miss Abosede. So I'll send to you, and you help us to share. Miss Abosede, help us to share on WhatsApp so that they can join. And then so tomorrow morning before classes, you need to come and you can write in your notes and share with them. You can type, you can use voice notes, anyhow you know that you can be able to share what we learned so that those that were not here with us live, we know what they have missed and can also recap and see why next time we call for meeting, they should be able to join us live. And while you are done, I'm going to later in the day, it will be, let me see another person that was with us from the very beginning. Okay, so later in the day it will be Miss Adebisi Adebumi Salami. So both of you will work tomorrow as a constant discourse to make sure that, okay, just to like talk about what you people learned today. And then if there's any assignments that was given, you guys will share And also encourage your colleagues to subscribe. Let them subscribe because first is morning. It's not easy to see as I've been talking since morning. How many hours now? My voice is already lost. I still have a class by 9 o'clock. So they should subscribe, okay? And that will be it. So on Sunday, another 2 people we have to come out as well. Is we still be on this same course. Okay, we will have our classes, like, other things will be going on, other activities will be going on, but still on the same topic, so that when we come again, we can continue. Be sure that everybody has. I'm very sure that some people now, where we are live like this, some people are not even getting what we are saying. Some people network was disturbing them. Some people were, So from our feedback, by the time you drop your comment, people will definitely react. Some people will still tell you that, oh, no, this was not what was said. Look at it. Before you know it, I myself too, I'll be seeing reactions and knowing where to also come in if I need to, put more clarity into what we are doing. So that will be it for that, right? So on Sunday, we'll be having Mr. Israel. So Mr. Israel, take notes. We're having Mr. Israel, and we have Mr. Israel and Mr. Bosse Days. We still have to work with him. So on Sunday, it will be Mr. Israel and Mr. Bosse Days. So obviously, from what you have, from your interaction tomorrow, you obviously will have learned 1 or 2 things you can still top up for Sunday. So Sunday after church service, we can just do that. So that'll be for mathematics. So let's assume we have a class. We will still have a class later. That is the GST. We'll also do that. Different set of people will do that again for GST tomorrow. So on let's say we have a class tomorrow now. Okay, we also announce. So it's like the plan will be very, very busy, very, very busy. Everybody, based on the topic and course you are giving to like review, you will review is people will come in there. They will, and as some people also study on their own and go through replays as well. They can also come in and drop their own inputs and stuff like that. So we can always also learn from each other. Even aside from just coming here live, you can also get to pick on other things from your colleagues as well, based on what they have learned from being in the class. I believe we actually buy that idea, do we?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. And we are ready to work and, play our part well. Please play your part. Very, very important, because we're not doing magic here. The boss is not giving you, and I'm not lying to you. I'm not going to tell you there is no secret anywhere than to read your book. All right, read your book. Now exams are difficult when you don't prepare. Okay, the question is, how much of preparation are they expecting from you? Do you have what it takes to prepare enough for you to pass their exams? So there is no any magic anywhere at all. If you do not read, you do not read. All right. If you like, join all the groups in now. Okay, if you are not reading your book, if you are not putting something into your brain on that day, you see before your system, you will come out, they'll ask you your score, you're ashamed to say. Because you have done nothing. It's not by paying anybody, it's not by doing anything, it's about being ready. So let everything you are doing be a channel to help you understand what you are doing. Okay. Yes. So that is basically all I can say to us. At least so far so good. I really appreciate how we've started. Some of us started very, very well. And long may this good thing continue. So I think I can allow us to go so that we can take a breather and then come back at the top of the hour for our GST 107. All right. So someone can pray for us, please. Miss Chantel Eunice, you can pray for us. Are you a Ghanaian? Miss Chantal, you can pray for us. Miss Chantal, are you there? All right. Miss Isioma, pray for us, please. Please don't forget your name. Those that I called out to do your work. And I believe all of us have gotten our numbers so that I can know when you hear your number, you know it's you that is being addressed. Mrs. Sioma, are you there? Okay, the girls are not going to pray. The guys can pray for us then. Mr. Jacob, Mr. Israel, any of you can pray for us. Since the girls don't want to pray.
In the mighty name of Jesus.
Okay, amen.
Father, King of Glory, thank you for bringing us to the end of this class today. Thank you for the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding you have granted us in the beginning of this class, O Lord. Father, you pray, O Lord, if we're about to conclude this class, to close this class, O Lord, let whatever we learn this night be in our intensive memory in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, we ask for your presence, O Lord, upon us, O Lord. Wherever we have sinned against you, wherever you have wronged against you, please have mercy and forgive us all. For we know that we are not righteous, we are not perfect, but we're only working under perversion, O Lord. But as we are the still of doing that, O Lord, whatever thing we may find as a difficulties in our studies, O Lord, open our eyes and speak about the spiritual and ceremony, like be able to overcome every obstacle that may come our way in the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen.
Father, thank you, O Lord, for we know that you are God, that we still do marvelous things in our life, O Lord. We say, may your name be alone, O Lord, for bringing us to an end of this class. Be successful and being asked and answered. May your name alone be always exalted in the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
For those of us that are still at work, well done. No, keep working. Keep working. You know that the more you're working, the more the money is coming. So please, be good in your office. Okay, we'll see you guys shortly. Bye.